Hello, Infiniteers, and welcome back to Mr. Disfinity and another showcase here. I have Falcon with me again, and I'm going to be doing the Madripoor walkthrough. This is just part one. You can see, and I'll talk a little bit about the rest of that. Um, Madripoor, if you are not aware with Marvel Comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Madripoor is an Asian city somewhere kind of around Malaysia or Indonesia, some of those kinds of areas that is fictional. Madripoor is fictional, and it is a spot that was featured in the TV series Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And so that's why I brought Falcon with me on it, because we want Falcon to be able to do it. Now, I want you to look over across the bridge. I've created this bridge. There actually is a bridge that was featured in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so I wanted to make sure to include the San Francisco Bridge here for it. I like that San Francisco gives a lot of the Asian feel, and you're going to see as we go through this the Asian feel that there is through my build that I've got here. I've got a kind of a small island across the bridge, and that's actually what we're going to cover in the other video. I don't know when I'm going to put that one out, but we do have that. You can see there's a lighthouse over on the other side, and there's some buildings, and also off to the left there is a bunch of shipping crates. And the reason I have those shipping crates there is because there actually was a scene in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that took place in a kind of a harbor shipping crate area. And so we've got that build over there. It's going to be a lot shorter, a lot smaller of a build, or a lot smaller of a showcase to be able to show. But what I started to do, and I think that this is important, I've started doing it in a couple of different builds that I have done. If you realize you're going to run out of space, and there's an opportunity for you to make one toy box into two or multiple toy boxes, then I would suggest being able to do that. Now, what you need to do with that is to start with a basic build. What I did is I didn't finish off completely the interior portion of what you're going to see here in the main downtown area, and I didn't finish off everything over on the what I'm calling the Madripoor harbor area. Uh, what you do is you get most of it, so you have an idea, and then you get to a spot, which for here is going to be around this spot, either side of the bridge, to where you're going to take and go from one toy box to the next. And then you get where you're in those spots, and you make sure that anything else beyond that is not seen. Now, if I were to show you further across that bridge and over there on that island, the harbor island area, you would see that most of that is not completed. And that's kind of on purpose, so that you can just get an idea of what's over there, but you don't actually have to see what's over there until you actually go over onto that portion of the island, and that portion of the dual toy boxes together. I did this a lot. As you'll start to see, I only have right now the one Disney California Adventure toy box that's been done of the main entrance area. But when you got to a certain spot, you could look over, you could see down one way, you could see down Buena Vista Street, but you couldn't really go down Buena Vista Street because it wasn't finished. And so one of the other toy boxes that I'm going to be displaying soon is actually that Buena Vista Street. And as I got to starting the build for Buena Vista Street, then I would get rid of and delete, and I'm going to talk about this in that video as well. I would delete the entrance areas because you're not going to walk down that way unless you go back to that. The only problem that creates is your starting point, your spawning point will always be in the same location, unless there is actually a way to do it with the locators, and you can create the locators if you attach it to another toy box. I haven't done that. At least from what I am aware, you can do that. So that's it with the understanding of building two toy boxes, and creating them, making them feel and have the feel as though they are one. You'll see also with this, a lot of this toy box includes from the plants drawer. I took and used a lot of San Francisco things. It gives a nice lights, and adds the lights, but it also adds the Southeast Asian feel to it, and so there's a lot with that. But I do like the nighttime lighting that happens with this. So we're going to go through, and I'm just going to kind of show you what I did with the toy box. You can see the ground, the roads that I've used is actually from the Incredibles theme. I liked that a little bit more than the San Francisco idea, excuse me, just because it just kind of had a little better feel for what I was going for with this toy box theme. One of the best ways that I used to be able to save and conserve space, you can see there's a lot of tall buildings in this portion of Madripoor, and I wanted to give that big city feel and didn't know exactly how to do it, using kind of Madripoor, from what I have seen from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, has a lot of gambling areas, and there's a lot of high class, and so I kind of wanted to give it a kind of a little bit of a Las Vegas style, but I also didn't want it to be too dingy. There are some dingy areas of Madripoor, but I didn't want to go too dark, and it's kind of hard to do too dark with Disney Infinity, honestly. So I decided to go a little bit more light, more of the white buildings, things like that, and we'll go through in that area around there and show you more of those. So I would take and I did the build, and I'll show you just the general overall build of how I did it. The ground I used was San Francisco, and adding a lot of the facades to it to kind of just give that overall general feel of city type feel, and a large downtown, and made sure to add a couple of different things. Now I haven't fully decided whether I was going to add more cars or anything like that. So this is just kind of a lot with the basic build, and there is enough space. You can see in just a moment, there's enough space to be able to add a bunch more other things if you wanted to, and just whatever I've decided. One of the things I'm thinking now of doing, I obviously didn't think of this when I started the build, but is adding some of the logic to what Professor Toybox has done with his Zootopia, because you can do something very, very similar. Some of the things like the chase scenes and some of the mystery type things, you could do a few things very, very similar to what Professor Toybox has done with his Zootopia build. So I would encourage you to look at the logic that Professor Toybox has done when he is able to add even more of the logic things. I know that he's going through some difficult personal issues right now, so hopefully sometime down the road you'd be able to see some of those things occurring. I specifically added this point right here because I wanted to kind of give the feel that the city continues on beyond where everything else is. I enclosed almost all of the rest of it in with buildings and everything, but I still wanted to give that idea of, oh wow, this Madripoor is a lot bigger, and there it is off in the horizon. I think there's maybe one other spot that I opened up to be able to see that, but I don't remember fully if there is or not. We're going to go to those upper levels in just a moment here. I wanted to make everything accessible and being able to run around the city in a very accessible sort of way, but I also kind of wanted to give it a lot of variation using the same things. So I used a lot of the awnings that are from San Francisco. I used a lot, again, from the plants drawer. And right here, I just recently added the concrete right here. I may go with a darker one if I decide, and you could kind of do that if you wanted to go with this. So really, it's only about 6 blocks, like city blocks that I've created, maybe 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 8 blocks with just a few roads going through it, and I did that because there again is the bridge that goes over to the other side, over to the the harbor area. And I just did that because I wanted to go up a lot more, and I wanted to add a little bit of variety to a couple of other areas, and I'll show you that now. I wanted this to be kind of pedestrian friendly in the sense of going up and over. Um, this is loosely based, and I think I've mentioned before, with the exception of the Ten Rings compound, this is loosely based on what I've seen in the shows and the movies, not strongly based. I want to give a shout out to That Brown Bat, who really has opened up some new ideas of what you can do. That and that, those pieces, I'll show you what they are the walkway end caps. If you haven't seen That Brown Bat talking about his Star Wars Coruscant themes, themed toy box. It is amazing, and it opened my eyes to that. A couple of other ones I'll show you in just a little bit come from this Building Sets Group 5 that are really just a great addition to be able to add and kind of give a little bit of a futuristic feel, or adding some lights with this walkway intersection that I've got right here. You can just add that, and I'll show you down in another section here in just a moment of what I've done. We'll with using that. One of the other things that I like doing is using the gingerbread pieces for doors. They make a really good door piece, and so where I get the opportunity to, I will just take I'll just take a short block wall and theme it to be a gingerbread. I've done that when I've done some Coruscant things, but most of the time when I'm doing city, kind of gives like a wooden feel, but maybe even almost yeah, just sort of a stucco-y type feel. And I like being able to have that because it you can split the doors and they look like doors. There's nothing else really in the style area that is fully like split in half to look like doors, but I do have a couple of other options, and I will show you those as we move around this toy box. So going down, coming back up, just wanting to again give a little bit of depth, add a few things here, make it to where there are a few dark alleyways that you could go through, walking past the bright lights of Madripoor, going down and around, and adding people to this might help as well. Adding various characters, townspeople might work. So there again, I did the doors with the gingerbread, and I think that the gingerbread really does kind of help give you a door feel, like I said. So there's the areas of walking up above that most of what I have. We're gonna fly. Wanted to show that. I just kind of used some city blocks to be able to just give you some feel of other types of things. Here's the lights, and one of the things that I love about this piece after I discovered being able to use it is that light right there. In a piece that I was doing that's similar to That Brown Bat, I used it even in an interior where the characters could go inside someplace, and I put the lights above it as the ceiling, so that you could have lights coming down. It was, like I said, it was a Coruscant one, but it really made it really kind of neat. This has created a nice effect. This is the robin egg theme. It's one that I haven't used really before for doors, but I really liked what it did right here, and kind of those doors on the corner type of a feel. Let me see to make sure that I've got everything I wanted to share from the ground level. There is one more that I wanted to show as well. Not only that from what That Brown Bat used, you may have seen it as we came in to the toy box. Oh, let me just kind of show. I've got a little bit of just using the back sides of those. Many of you have probably discovered those lights already. That makes it kind of nice to kind of give it a behind the scenes using alleyways type thing. And I actually have the alleyways right here as well. Again, lights going through there. But that wasn't what I wanted to show. I'm gonna fly. Steer right. Oh, right here. There we go. And here's some different color kinds of doors I used. I used the frozen one on that one, the frozen theme, which is in the style drawer. Not the crystal one. The crystal gives it almost too much of a three-dimensional feel, but you want to go to frozen. And frozen is another really good door piece to use if you're kind of going for that frosted glass look. Yeah, I suppose you could also use the hockey rink one, but I kind of like the frozen one, giving us that feel to it. But what I wanted to point out was actually this part right here. This is really a cool thing. This you may recognize from the Death Star walkway. And as long as it's keeping covered, you can use it as you don't see the Empire symbol right there. And so you can use that as well as an additional piece to just kind of add some light, add some color. I used the frozen portion there as well, just using a full block to where it kind of gives it a windowed, frosted window feel. So it's really kind of a neat thing to be able to use, but yeah, I do like the style of using those. Now that I've discovered them, you do have a little bit. If that bothers you, you can talk to. You could see that Brown Bat's videos on how to be able to kind of get rid of the gaps that might show up in there. To me, it's not worth it enough. You're not going to be interacting enough with it to make it a deal breaker for me. So we're going to go up top, and I'm going to show you a little bit more of how Madripoor looks from the sky. Again, just adding building on top of building, using a lot of things from the buildings drawer, and a lot of things from the drawer number 2, the building set number 2, is what I did for a lot of those. Giving the opportunity for a lot more vertical. Oh, I did miss a spot over here. We're gonna go down here. Good thing they don't have fall damage. Coming down here and just using the fire escapes, being able to have fire escape ability to go all the way down. The fire escapes you can find and use those. Yeah, sorry about that. I missed that portion. I had meant to show that off. But also leaving some pipes. I did those pipes so that you could go up to the helicopter pad if you have non-flyable characters, which within the Marvel universe, other than Iron Man and Falcon, you really don't have a whole lot. I guess Thor does too. You don't have a lot of flying characters. As I'm looking at my characters and going, oh, maybe Vision does, and so does Nova, so maybe a few more than I thought. But it gives you a chance to get Captain America and Black Widow and a few of the others up to the top, and then you can use a helicopter to fly around with. To be able to fly around. Now, when you're up and looking at it from this angle, you can see there is a lot more space, it feels like, in this toy box. I did create some building pieces of putting the buildings together, and just it was a matter of just being creative with it. How can I create an arch here? How can I create something there? And when you are standing on top of those buildings, just like when you're in the parking structure, you can look out and it looks like there's a lot more of Madripoor off in the distance, which kind of gives you that bigger feeling of this. I didn't mention it. I'm assuming everybody knows that the Sky Dome theme that I used was the San Francisco theme, so you can tell that. And then just taking it, those are the same piece, but I just flipped them and put them back to back, front to front, and it really kind of created a nice little just decoration for that piece. To be able to create another building, to just give it that idea of a tall metropolis. I'm actually going to fly over with Falcon, and we're going to show you. We're not going to look at the spot right now. It's more of being able to see what Madripoor is going to look like when you're over in the harbor area, because that's kind of a neat opportunity too. Now, when I started this, I brought the base of the terrain up higher because you need it to make sure that or did I take it lower? Well, you can't take it much lower from your starting point. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't see the city portions when you are on the other side of the bridge, so that when we start, and I'm going to probably reiterate this again, when we start right here, there's only that one spot that you can see that just kind of makes you go, ugh, I don't, the illusion's gone from the water. But if you're looking over here, the illusion's still kind of there. And you're really not spending too much time just looking at the illusion of the water being where it is and everything like that. So um, this is really a lot of the build, how we set it up. I made sure to add the rock structure of the cliff. When I did it, I used Buried Treasure, the one from the Pirates theme, for the dirt that's there and for the outside. And then just going through and just kind of playing with it, making sure to add a lot of lights, a lot of billboards, a lot of lit up signage, and just giving it that look and that feel that you want from a city toy box. And I know that one of these days I might do kind of a let's build type thing similar to what that brown bat does, but just wanting to give you kind of that basic structure, that basic feel. One of the things I just noticed as I was looking down might be to go over, and because it is Madripoor, and because I do have a lot of those awnings on there, being able to take these awnings and just add them. Let's add a brown one right here. Maybe I can add it. I don't know if I could. That's not going to do it. Never mind. I was going to add it there. It just didn't look right when I put it there. So, but this building could use one. So just showing kind of how we take and add it and just make it look a little bit more of the flair to it, putting things on top of the buildings. And so yeah, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, suggestions, feel free to add them into the comments for this video. I just wanted to make sure that I got going on another video because it has been a little while since I've posted. So I wanted to just get some more videos going. I've got a few more other videos that are just walkthroughs and showcases for you to be able to see, and hopefully we can continue to have some more of these. But this is Madripoor, my vision, my version of Madripoor, the city from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So until we meet again, till we do this again, have fun with your builds and continue enjoying. Thanks.